friends. It's a little before sunrise, but the sky is so amazing that I couldn't wait any longer. It's like on fire off in the horizon, and it's so beautiful. So we're tuning in a little bit early. But I think I mentioned last week that I've been listening to a podcast called The Rise and Fall of Mars Hill, which I recommend. It documents the story of the birth and eventual death of sort of a mega church plant. And it documents quite a bit about the charismatic leader of that church and how sort of the charisma outweighed the character. And it's got me thinking about how often that may happen in churches and how many people have been harmed by that dynamic and by these teachings that sort of boil spirituality or faith down to, just say this one thing, just say this one prayer, just do this, 5 easy steps to your salvation or some version of that. And I get the seduction of that. I mean, that's why, multi-level marketing schemes work. But it's also destructive. I know a lot of people who are walking around with some trauma from their church experiences, religious experiences. Probably all of us know somebody, or are that somebody ourselves. And I'm sorry. And it's sort of not supposed to be like that. And I sometimes wonder if, sort of the church, Christianity, has kind of done more harm than good. Surely that's not true, right? But I certainly know a lot of people walking around with wounds from their faith experiences. And I just don't think it was supposed to be that way. I don't think it was supposed to be simplified down into, the 5 simple steps or the just say this prayer kind of thing. I also think that, if I'm going to look at the life of Jesus modeled for me through Scripture, there's a lot of wandering around. There's a lot of stories of people leaving and returning, the prodigal son, the lost sheep, the lost coin. There's not this straight and narrow 5 easy steps, and instead it's this unconditional love. It's this, there's always a space, there's room to wander and to wonder. There's room to, maybe even a necessity to question and push back on the things that you're taught, particularly by authority figures. And people who are in power don't like that part of the gospel. They, dare I say we, want to have answers, want to indicate to people, we want to justify our own existence by the impact we have on others. And that's just not what's laid out for us in the gospel. What's laid out for us is death and resurrection, messing up and forgiveness, unconditional love, endless opportunities to go through the dark night and experience the rising sun. Look, y'all, it's messy. And it's not 5 easy steps, and it's not just say this prayer and everything will be better, and it's not, your eternal salvation is dependent upon XYZ behavior. That doesn't exhibit the breadth and the beauty of what's available to us. Yeah, it's a messy, wandering journey. It's not easy. You can't just capture it in a few words and make it quick and dirty. Show up once a week, check the box, and you're saved. At least I don't think so. And it's so much bigger and better than that. Grace is so much bigger and better than that. It's not fair. It's not simple. It's bigger and better than anything you could imagine, anything I could imagine. And it just always keeps showing up. Sometimes we can't see it in the midst. Sometimes it takes some perspective of getting through something before we can see just all the grace and gratitude and beauty peppered in this messy existence. But it's there. And my hope and my prayer for you is that the trauma and the pain and the anger and frustration that you know or someone you know has experienced from church or religion doesn't get in the way of the grace, the big, beautiful promise of unconditional love, the beauty of the rising sun, the fully experiencing being alive, that we can learn to forgive, and that we can find other ways that our life, not unlike the life of Jesus, can be this wandering, meandering, beautiful witness. Because listen, you got as much to teach me about God as I got to teach you. I'm going to tell you that right now. Wow. Sunrise has as much to teach about God as I have to teach about God. Wherever you are on your meandering journey, whether you're feeling close or far, whether you're feeling hopeful or despairing, whether you're feeling connected or lost, may you know that you are loved. May you find hope in the rising sun and the new day. May you know there is more grace than any wrongs or any suffering this world could offer. May you have a deep breath that reminds you of your capacity for hope, for love, for forgiveness, for peace. Let's tap into that for a little while. We can pick up all the other stuff later if you still want it. I'll leave you with a few minutes of this beautiful sunrise, and hope and pray that your week will show you who God is in ways that are unexpected. Grace and peace, friends.